La Vuelta finally underway. After a huge welcome by the people of Utrecht, it was time to go racing. The race of truth, of course, against the clock. Been a long time since many of these teams had engaged in a team time trial. In fact, 33 of the riders had never ever done one. So some nervous moments perhaps, and a nervous look at the weather forecast around Utrecht. The course, 23.3 kilometres, starting off quite technical. Same at the end, but some big old power sections out there. Would the wind blow? Would the rain fall? The answer to both of those questions in the end was no. However, a drying course made for a little bit of a change of conditions, and it was to benefit those going off late. Groupama Francis were amongst the early groups to go. A fine time by them. Good enough for a benchmark, soon to be broken by Team Bike Exchange. Well, they were making sure that they looked after Simon Yates, one of the great favourites for the race. On occasion he had to battle back on. Such a powerful team around him. He made sure that they stayed together. Coming to the line, looked like the first team to break 25 minutes. Didn't quite happen. A first real time, but with drying conditions, where others have an advantage. Bahrain victorious, good balance to their team, and a better result than many had expected. Mikkel Landa looking comfortable on a time trial, not something we're used to seeing. Bora Hansgrohe, well, a power team, I think you might say, destined to work for Sam Bennett. He was absent from their finishing lineup at the very end. The clock stopping on the fourth man home. Bennett will be thinking about sprinting on days 2 and 3. Well, they came in thick and fast. UAE Team Emirates also setting a good intermediate time. Home in a 25.13. 2 seconds off the pace. Good enough for second behind Bike Exchange. Well, the late runners included Ineos Grenadiers. And at the intermediate they looked like they were going to take the leader's jersey. The first of the race. Sitting in the hot seat, they had to wait expectantly for those who would come later. Movistar looked like a strong performance for them, but Norsgaard fell off the back a little bit late on and couldn't offer up much assist. Quick-step, Alpha Vinyl, Julian Philippe on board, Remco Evenepoel, the driving force. In fact, he pushed on at the very last, just disengaging with his teammates. They stopped the clock just 3/4 of 1 second down on Ineos Grenadiers. This man, Primož Roglič, injured out of the Tour de France, 3 times a consecutive winner here at La Vuelta. Often it's been seen as the race that has made up for a disappointing season. Well, if we were asking questions about his form, they were parked up well and truly. Jumbo-Visma were magnificent. Constantly looking after Sepp Kuss, who was opening up a gap at the back for others to slot into. He, likewise, guided home well. Primož Roglič delighted, but none happier than Rob Hessink. He crossing the line first. 13 seconds to the good with the team. Hessink wearing the red leader's jersey, the first of the race. Well, some sporting applause from Ineos Grenadiers. They were delighted by their own performance, finishing 13 seconds down ultimately. Quick step, Alpha Vinyl, a further second in arrears. Bike Exchange, who really perhaps could have won the day had it not been for the damp conditions that made some of the corners that they had to take a little more scary than the others had to deal with. DSM with a good time, 53 seconds down. Biggest disappointment perhaps, EF Education Easy Post. Anyone who loses more than a minute has a lot of ground to make up deeper into this race. Something that Jumbo-Visma won't have to be concerned about just yet. 3 jerseys belong to them. Hessink will wear red, Roglič the points jersey, and Harper will be in the mountains jersey. Ethan Hayter will wear the Young Riders white jersey going into stage 2. And this is what we can expect. 175 kilometres in total, back to Utrecht, our venue for the time trial. Just one small categorised lump along the way, which will give us our definitive mountains jersey. That'll be something to race for. Likewise, the honour, of course, of taking the first sprint of only 5 in this race. The Vuelta is underway.